The UFC will be making its very first trip to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia on Saturday. And the main event is a really interesting one at 185 pounds. It's Robert Whittaker against Ikram Aliskerov. Now, the original main event was supposed to be Whittaker versus Khamzat Chimaev. But last week we found out Chimaev's sick, so he had to withdraw. In enters Aliskerov, who was getting ready to fight last weekend. So it's not like he's a short notice replacement who's kind of out of shape. No, he was getting ready to peak last Saturday, but this is by far the biggest fight of his pro career. He's never fought in a main event of a UFC event before. He's relatively new to the UFC. He is undefeated in his fights in the UFC, but never fought anyone quite like Robert Whittaker. His lone pro loss, by the way, a loss to Khamzat Chimaev, and he's not too different than Chimaev. The odds makers seem to think that this is a pretty close one, which surprises me a little bit because I think Robert Whittaker is still one of the very best middleweights in the world. He looked great in his last fight against Paulo Costa. I liked his chances, especially in the championship rounds against Khamzat Chimaev, and I like his chances against Aliskerov, especially in the championship rounds because he's been there before. He doesn't get tired. He usually steps up in these spots, and I'm expecting a big-time performance out of him. So it's Whittaker, Aliskerov, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, this Saturday, a big-time fight, especially for Whittaker, because if he wins, he's right back in the mix as far as the title picture is concerned. And if Aliskerov wins, we've got a new contender at 185 pounds. The place to be for all the action, of course, BetMGM. If you're a first-time user, put in the code Helwani. We like to hook you up. That's how we do it. Enjoy the fights. Talk to you next week.